Fulton County teacher has been murdered, leaving her students and family heartbroken. 25-year-old Kaaylin Jackson was shot at DeKalb County over the weekend.
Tonight, we're learning more about the suspect police have arrested. The victim's family is speaking only with News Edge reporter Rob DiRienzo.
25-year-old Kaaylin Jackson was a teacher at Hamilton Holmes Elementary School in East Point. Her murder has left her mother in shock right now.
I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep because if I go to sleep, it's going to be too real. You know, it's going to be too real.
A beloved teacher, a trusted mentor, a life full of promise, cut short in a single, unthinkable moment. On a quiet Saturday night in DeKalb County, Georgia, a community lost more than just an educator. They lost a beacon of hope for countless children and families. The news spread quickly. Kaaylin Jackson, just 25 years old, was found shot in her own home. Friends, family, and students were left searching for answers, struggling to comprehend how someone so dedicated, so full of light, could be taken away so suddenly.
Police in DeKalb County have arrested 24-year-old Janae Colbert. They say she shot and killed Jackson in their home on Derwin Brown Drive Saturday night.
You took something that held us together.
Jackson's family says she and Colbert were in a relationship. Colbert's been charged with malice murder.
We took her in our home. We made her family.
Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on a tragedy that stunned an entire school and left a family shattered. What really happened inside that house on Derwin Brown Drive? Who was Kaaylin Jackson beyond the headlines? And what led to the heartbreaking events that unfolded after an Easter celebration? As we piece together the timeline, you'll hear from those who knew her best, and we'll explore the hidden dangers that can exist even in the most loving relationships.
They were fine, just minutes before it happened.
Michelle Jackson, Kaylin's mom, says right before she was killed on Saturday, she just planned a big celebration of life for her grandmother.
I really appreciate everybody coming out, man.
In my phone, I was typing a message to her. The first part of it to tell her words cannot express how proud I was of what you did. I didn't get a chance to fix it before I got that phone call from my son.
That call was when she learned about what happened to Kaaylin. Jackson says her daughter's profession, working in special education and as a cheerleading coach, was her life's passion.
My baby wanted to help kids, especially kids that needed extra guidance.
Her smile was it was infectious.
As Jackson's mother prepares to lay her daughter to rest, she's still trying to process all of this.
I know I need to sleep, I know I need to rest, but I can't do it right now.
Before we begin, welcome to Psycho Crimes, your home for the world's most infamous cases, mysterious disappearances, disturbing confessions, and the minds behind the madness. If you're fascinated by true crime stories that go beyond the surface, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Here, we bring you detailed investigations, gripping storytelling, and in-depth analysis of the cases that leave us all searching for answers. Stay with us as we uncover the story of Kaaylin Jackson, a case that reminds us how quickly life can change and how the truth is sometimes more heartbreaking than fiction. Kaaylin Jackson was more than just a name in the news. To her students at Hamilton Holmes Elementary School, she was the teacher who greeted them each morning with a bright smile and words of encouragement. To her colleagues, she was a source of positivity, always willing to lend a hand or offer support. And to her family, Kaaylin was the heart of every gathering, a daughter, a sister, a friend whose laughter filled every room. Growing up in Georgia, Kaaylin was surrounded by a close-knit family who recognized her passion for helping others from an early age. She chose a path that demanded patience and empathy, working as an interrelated special education teacher. In this role, she guided children with diverse learning needs, helping them find confidence and success in the classroom. Her dedication didn't stop at the end of the school day. As a cheerleading coach, Kaaylin inspired her team to work hard, support one another, and believe in themselves, lessons that extended far beyond the gymnasium. Those who knew her best described Kaaylin as someone who radiated warmth. Her mother, Michelle Jackson, often spoke about her daughter's unwavering commitment to family traditions and her deep sense of responsibility. Kaylin's sister, Crystal Gray, remembers their last day together, Hours spent in laughter and conversation, with no hint of the tragedy that would soon unfold. For Kaaylin, family was everything. She was the one who planned celebrations, checked in on loved ones, and made sure no one ever felt alone. At school, Kaaylin's impact was just as profound. Principal Felipe O. Jackson recalls how students would light up when she entered the room. Her ability to connect with children, especially those facing challenges, set her apart. She believed every child deserved a champion, and she made it her mission to be that person for as many students as possible. Outside of work, Kaaylin enjoyed simple pleasures, spending time with friends, celebrating milestones, and making memories with her girlfriend, Sh0t. To the outside world, their relationship seemed loving and supportive. Friends and family saw two young women building a life together, sharing dreams and planning for the future. But beneath the surface, life can be unpredictable. Even in the most caring environments, moments can arise that change everything. As the weekend of April 20th approached, there were no warning signs, no indications that anything was amiss. Kaaylin was busy preparing for an Easter celebration, looking forward to time with family and friends. She was also planning a special event to honor her grandmother, a testament to her devotion to those she loved. No one could have predicted that this weekend would be her last. The sense of normalcy, the routines of daily life, and the bonds of family and friendship all seemed intact. Yet, in a matter of hours, everything would be turned upside down. As we move forward, we'll examine the events of that fateful night, the moments that led to an unimaginable loss, and the questions that still haunt those left behind. April 20th, 2025, began like any other Saturday for Kaaylin Jackson. The air was filled with the warmth of family, laughter, and the anticipation of an Easter celebration. Kaaylin's home on Derwin Brown Drive in DeKalb County was alive with the sounds of loved ones gathering, sharing stories, and making memories. For Kaaylin, these moments were precious. She cherished every opportunity to bring people together. As the evening wore on, the celebration slowly wound down. Guests said their goodbyes, and the house grew quieter. Kaaylin, her girlfriend Sh0t, and a roommate remained. There was no sign of trouble. No arguments, no tension, just the comfortable routine of a night at home. Kaaylin's sister, Crystal, had spent time with the couple earlier that day and later recalled how everything seemed perfectly normal.
They were fine, just minutes before it happened.
No one could have imagined the storm that was about to break. Sometime after midnight, a sudden argument erupted between Kaaylin and Sh0t. The details of what sparked the confrontation remain unclear, but what is certain is how quickly everything changed. Voices rose, emotions flared, and in a matter of moments, a single gunshot shattered the silence. The roommate, startled by the sound, rushed from his room. What he saw next would be seared into his memory forever. Kaaylin, wounded but still conscious, stumbled into his bedroom. With her last strength, she managed to speak, "Sh0t shot me." Those words, heavy with shock and disbelief, were the final message she would ever deliver. The roommate immediately called 911, his voice trembling as he relayed the horror unfolding in front of him. Emergency responders arrived within minutes, their training kicking in as they worked to stabilize Kaaylin and rush her to Grady Memorial Hospital. The scene was chaotic, flashing lights, urgent voices, and the overwhelming sense that something irreversible had just occurred. At the hospital, doctors fought to save Kaaylin's life. She underwent emergency surgery, but the damage was too severe. In the early hours of Sunday morning, Kaaylin Jackson was pronounced dead. The news rippled through her family, her school, and the wider community. A life so full of promise ended in an instant. Back at the house, police officers took Sh0t into custody. She was charged with malice murder and held without bond. The motive behind the shooting remains a mystery. No one, not even those closest to the couple, could explain what led to such a devastating act. As investigators began their work, the community was left reeling, searching for answers that may never fully come. This is the moment in the story where we pause and ask, have you ever witnessed a tragedy that left your community in shock? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective matters, and your voice helps us understand the impact of these events. For Kaaylin's family, the hours after her death were a blur of disbelief and heartbreak. Her mother, Michelle, struggled to process the loss.
I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep because if I go to sleep, it's going to be too real. You know, it's going to be.
Describing sleepless nights and the unbearable weight of grief. Crystal, her sister, replayed their last moments together, searching for any sign that something was wrong.
They were fine, just minutes before it happened.
The pain of losing Kaaylin was compounded by the suddenness of it all. One moment, she was planning a celebration for her grandmother. The next, she was gone. At Hamilton, Holmes Elementary School, the news hit hard. Principal Felipe Jackson gathered staff and students to share the devastating update. Grief counselors were brought in, and the school community rallied around Kaaylin's family, offering support and remembrance. Vigils were held, candles were lit, and stories were shared, each one a testament to the impact Kaaylin had on those around her. As the investigation continued, questions lingered. What could have driven Sh0t to such a desperate act? Were there warning signs that no one noticed? And how could a relationship that seemed so loving end in such tragedy? In the next section, we'll explore the aftermath of Kaaylin's death, the community's response, the search for justice, and the lessons we can all learn from this heartbreaking case. The days following Kaaylin Jackson's death were filled with a profound sense of grief and disbelief. The news spread quickly, and the community of East Point, Georgia, found itself united in mourning. At Hamilton, Holmes Elementary School, the impact was particularly acute. Students and staff struggled to come to terms with the loss of a beloved teacher and mentor. Principal Felipe Jackson faced the difficult task of informing the students about Kaaylin's passing. Grief counselors were brought in to provide support, and the school became a safe space for students to share their feelings and memories. Many children wrote letters, drew pictures, and created tributes to honor Kaaylin's life. Her classroom, once a place of learning and laughter, was transformed into a memorial filled with flowers, cards, and heartfelt messages. The community organized vigils and memorial services to celebrate Kaaylin's life and legacy. Friends, family, colleagues, and students gathered to share stories, light candles, and offer comfort to one another. These gatherings were a testament to the impact Kaaylin had on those around her, her kindness, her dedication, and her unwavering commitment to helping others. Kaaylin's family was overwhelmed by the outpouring of support. Her mother, Michelle Jackson, spoke candidly about the pain of losing her daughter, saying, "I can't go to sleep because if I go to sleep, it becomes too real."
I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep because if I go to sleep, it's going to be too real. You know, it's going to be too real.
The family found solace in the memories of Kaaylin's laughter, her warmth, and her unwavering love. They also expressed gratitude for the community's support, which helped them navigate the darkest days of their lives. As the community mourned, the wheels of justice began to turn. Sh0t Colbert remained in custody, charged with malice murder. The investigation continued, with detectives working to piece together the events that led to Kaaylin's death. The motive behind the shooting remained unclear, and the case was classified as a domestic-related homicide. The legal proceedings were closely followed by the community, who sought answers and accountability. Many expressed anger and frustration, struggling to understand how such a tragedy could have occurred. They called for justice for Kaaylin and for greater awareness of the dangers of domestic violence. In the midst of grief and anger, there were also calls for healing and reconciliation. Many community leaders emphasized the importance of coming together to support one another and to prevent similar tragedies from happening in the future. They spoke about the need for education, awareness, and resources to address the root causes of domestic violence and to create safer communities for everyone. This is another moment where we want to hear from you. What state or country are you watching from, and what resources are available in your community to support victims of domestic violence? Share your insights in the comments below. Your knowledge can help others find the support they need. As the days turned into weeks, the community continued to honor Kaaylin's memory. Scholarships were established in her name, and fundraising events were organized to support her family and to promote education and awareness. Her legacy as a devoted teacher, coach, and family member lived on in the hearts of those she touched. In the next section, we'll delve deeper into the issue of domestic violence, exploring the warning signs, the risk factors, and the steps we can all take to prevent such tragedies from happening in the future.
I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep because if I go to sleep, it's going to be too real.
Kaaylin Jackson's story is a heartbreaking reminder of the often hidden dangers of domestic violence. While her relationship with Janae Colbert appeared loving and supportive to those on the outside, the tragic events of April 20, 2025, reveal the complex and unpredictable nature of abuse. Domestic violence knows no boundaries. It affects people of all ages, genders, races, and socioeconomic backgrounds. It can occur in any type of relationship, including heterosexual, homosexual, and non-binary partnerships. One of the most challenging aspects of domestic violence is that it often occurs behind closed doors. Victims may be afraid to speak out due to fear, shame, or a belief that they are somehow responsible for the abuse. They may also be isolated from friends and family, making it even more difficult to seek help. It's important to recognize that domestic violence is not just physical abuse. It can also include emotional, verbal, financial, and sexual abuse. These forms of abuse can be just as damaging as physical violence, and they often escalate over time. Some common warning signs of domestic violence include isolation. One partner tries to control who the other sees or talks to. Jealousy, extreme jealousy or possessiveness. Control, attempts to control finances, decisions, or daily activities. Verbal abuse, constant criticism, insults, or threats. Physical abuse, any form of physical harm, including hitting, pushing, or restraining. Blame, blaming the victim for the abuser's actions. Rapid mood swings, unpredictable changes in mood or behavior. If you or someone you know is experiencing any of these warning signs, it's important to seek help. There are many resources available to support victims of domestic violence, including National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-SAFE-7233. Thehotline.org, a website with information, resources, and online chat support. Local shelters and support groups. Many communities have local organizations that provide shelter, counseling, and legal assistance to victims of domestic violence. Preventing domestic violence requires a multifaceted approach. It starts with education, teaching young people about healthy relationships, respect, and communication. It also involves challenging societal norms that condone or excuse violence. Communities must also provide accessible support services for victims of domestic violence. This includes confidential counseling, shelters, and legal assistance. It's also important to train law enforcement and judicial personnel to handle domestic violence cases sensitively and thoroughly. Finally, we must all be willing to speak out against domestic violence and to support those who are affected by it. By breaking the silence and challenging the stigma surrounding abuse, we can create safer communities for everyone. Before we move on, let's take a moment to reflect. What do you think really happened in Kaaylin and Janae's relationship? Share your theories and insights in the comments below. Remember, respectful and thoughtful discussion is key. Kaaylin Jackson's legacy should be one of hope and healing. By learning from her story and taking action to prevent domestic violence, we can honor her memory and create a world where everyone is safe and respected. The story of Kaaylin Jackson is a tragic reminder of the hidden dangers of domestic violence. A beloved teacher, a trusted mentor, and a cherished family member, Kaaylin's life was cut short in a senseless act of violence that shocked her community and left a void in the hearts of those who knew her. As we've explored in this episode, Kaaylin's story is not just an isolated incident. Domestic violence is a pervasive issue that affects people of all backgrounds and relationships. It's a cycle of abuse that can escalate over time, leaving victims feeling trapped, isolated, and afraid. But there is hope. By recognizing the warning signs of domestic violence, providing support to victims, and challenging the societal norms that condone abuse, we can create safer communities for everyone. Kaaylin's legacy should be one of action. Her life, though tragically short, serves as a call to vigilance, compassion, and proactive intervention. We must all be willing to speak out against domestic violence, to support those who are affected by it, and to work together to prevent future tragedies. So, what can you do to make a difference? Here are a few concrete steps you can take. Educate yourself. Learn more about the warning signs of domestic violence and the resources available to support victims. Speak out. If you see or hear something that concerns you, don't be afraid to speak up. Offer support to those who may be experiencing abuse, and challenge the attitudes and beliefs that perpetuate violence. Support local organizations. Donate your time or money to local shelters, support groups, and advocacy organizations that are working to end domestic violence. Get involved. Participate in community events, awareness campaigns, and policy initiatives that promote safety and justice for victims of abuse. Spread awareness. Share this video with your friends, family, and followers. The more people who are aware of the issue of domestic violence, the more likely we are to create change. Remember, ending domestic violence is everyone's responsibility. By working together, we can create a world where all relationships are based on respect, equality, and love. Thank you for joining us on Psychocrimes. We hope this episode has shed light on the tragic story of Kaaylin Jackson and inspired you to take action against domestic violence. If you found this video informative and impactful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth investigations and gripping storytelling. And now, we want to hear from you one last time. What is one thing you will do this week to help prevent domestic violence in your community? Share your commitment in the comments below. Together, we can make a difference. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and never stop fighting for justice.